Hello and welcome to the Local Leaders Podcast. I'm your host, Jeff Johnson. The Local Leaders Podcast provides a platform for successful business owners to share their stories, their experiences, their advice, and their ideas in order to help our listeners achieve more success in their business and in their lives. Get ready, another great show is coming up. Good morning, everyone. My name is Jeff Johnson. I'm the host of the Local Leaders Podcast, and I'm very excited today to be speaking to Koji Tamura. I messed that up, Koji.
Yeah.
Tamura of Osaka's, and Osaka's is in Boulder, Colorado, and we're thrilled again to have you, Koji, here with us today. And I want to say thank you for coming on and sharing your experience with us. To get the ball rolling, how about we just open up and give you an opportunity to tell us about Osaka's and how you came up with the concept and what makes Osaka special.
Okay. It's my first speech takes about 2 minutes. Be okay. Okay. So I become some 70s and I came first time to LA 1972 to study engineering. Okay, I was a good student with my classmates. So from Monday to Friday, we study hard. But every Friday evening, we have a kind of fun party or something. Mm-hmm. And one day, one of classmates asked me, "Oh, you are only Japanese. Why not you prepare some Japanese food for our Friday night parties?" Okay. And the only food I could prepare is Okonomiyaki. That in English, they say Japanese pancake, but the image and, reality is a bit different. For instance, when you go to Italy, like spaghetti or pizza is a family food. And Okonomiyaki is in Japan family food, so every family can prepare. Okay, so that I prepared and served to my friends, and they really love it. Though my cooking is, of course, not so perfect and not so good, but they really enjoy it. So that since then I decided myself, I comes back to the United States someday to open a restaurant focusing on this Okonomiyaki.
Okonomiyaki.
Okay. Yeah.
Okonomiyaki. Did I get it right? Mm-hmm. Okonomiyaki.
Yeah. Okay. Then, of course, when I graduated, however, at that time, of course, no experience, no money, nothing. So I simply joined the company, American company, Motorola. And then, strange enough, Motorola sent me to Germany for 8 years and came back to LA 3 more years. But then I lost any more interest, so that I decided myself to go back to Japan. Mm-hmm. And then I joined another Japanese medical equipment company until 5 years ago. And 5 years ago was my happy retirement year. And I didn't like at all, to enjoy, relax the rest of my life. And I really wish and challenge my something. Mm-hmm. And my challenge is my dream comes true, which I had 50 years ago nearly. Okay. And I persuaded my family, and so we moved from Japan to here, Colorado, 5 years ago. Okay, and preparing takes 1.5 years, so that this restaurant is in November. We celebrate 3 years. Okay, and focusing Okonomiyaki. Okay, mm-hmm. So this is my short story why I'm here to run the restaurant.
That is that's awesome. It's a dream of 50 years ago, pretty much, that you have now brought to us, well, at least to the Boulder, Colorado, and neighboring cities and towns, and it sounds delicious. And every time I love Japanese food to begin with, although I may not, I'm probably not eating the traditional Japanese food. So tell me a little more about Osaka. I mean, the Okonomiyaki flavors or background, or what exactly is it? And
Okay, so now everybody in US knows sushi or ramen,
yes,
and okonomiyaki is not so yet, or still not so popular at all. And but when you come to Japan, it's a very popular food. Every year you can enjoy. Okay, and I was wondering why not okonomiyaki? This is we use a lot of cabbage. Okay, and the cabbage and flour, eggs. Okay, to make the pan, and then we add ingredients on it. Okay, so and we cook on the grill. Okay, so that and I know that customer who visited our restaurant enjoyed the first time. They really love it. So
yeah,
I'm sure okonomiyaki hopefully becomes popular so soon. Okay, but so far, yeah, around in US maybe nearly 20, 30 restaurants offering, there's okonomiyaki. So
yeah.
that's still our challenge.
Yeah,
Okay.
is to get that out there and make sure that people are aware of that flavor, that type of cooking. But yeah, it sounds delicious, and it's lunchtime over here in North Carolina where I'm at. So you're already making me hungry, and wishing I could try that out today. So is there sushi at your restaurant as well, or not? Do you serve sushi?
Yes, we have.
Okay.
Yeah, but we're not sushi specialists. But our staff are from Japan, so that they know, of course, how to
Yeah.
prepare the sushi. Okay, but our focus is this okonomiyaki.
Okonomiyaki. Yep, absolutely. Well, hopefully this podcast will help to get the word out on Okonomiyaki or yaki, and help educate we Americans who maybe aren't familiar with the Okonomiyaki. I got it that time. And get the word out about how great it is, and spread it around. Now, let me ask you this: have you thought about expanding to other locations, or maybe adding a second location, or are you happy with just the one restaurant?
My commitment is to promote more okonomiyaki in the state. So that, of course, I really wish to expand more areas, like Los Angeles, where I used to study and work. And yeah, this plan, I lived 1 year kind of delay because of the pandemic.
Yeah.
And also our last goal, or my last goal, is in Hawaii, so that I really wish to have not so like here, that big restaurant, but like a fast casual style restaurant in other cities, including like Hawaii and so.
That would be awesome, and then you could just hop over to Hawaii and then roll right on to Japan and never miss a beat. Yeah,
Yeah.
that would be awesome. So you did open a restaurant pretty close to COVID, so you had a little bit of time to have the restaurant going before COVID hit. How did you respond to COVID? Did you have to close, and were you able to shift to the takeout model fairly easily, or was it difficult?
Yeah, of course, we was period, we just delivering or pick up. and we could somehow survive. But this is not only a restaurant, every restaurant the same, and also globally, right? So that believe that there is no day when the rain doesn't stop. So that, we usually start considering positively. Like if rains, we take umbrella or raincoat or stay home. There are thousands of solutions, I believe, so that we made lots of solutions to survive. But now, I believe we overcome, and most of the restaurants the same,
That's awesome. I'm glad you were able to get through it and come out on the other side, and hopefully we're going to continue to be where we are and won't go back to more COVID coming again. Although that's been the talk of late. So we wish you the best on that, and I hope for all of our sakes that we all stay safe and COVID goes away and we can get back to our regular lives. So what was the hardest thing about starting the business? When you came over to Colorado, was it finding a location or refurbing the building, or what were the biggest headaches or challenges you ran into?
Yeah, particularly here in Boulder, Colorado, there are not so many Asian people, or including Japanese, living. So I rely on mostly local person and who don't know what okonomiyaki is.
Right.
Okay. So that at the beginning, many simply believes Japanese restaurant equals sushi restaurant.
Yeah.
Okay. So that that even today, okay, difficult to promote okonomiyaki. There's something new to United States. Okay. But this is maybe our challenge, even today.
Yeah.
And maybe even the futures. Okay. But I really like to promote this food because once customer enjoy, they really love it.
Yeah, I'm sure. It sounds delicious. And for those of you guys in and around Boulder, if you haven't been to Osaka's, please get down there and try it. It sounds delicious, and I can't wait to have an opportunity to try here. Yeah, it would be amazing. So, are you struggling right now, or having any problems or challenges with finding staff for the business, or is that not a problem in Boulder?
Well, right after the almost pandemic, the stage gone, then still government support a lot for those people, employees, so that they can stay at home and enjoy at home rather than working hard in the restaurant. All right, so that we still face some issues to find the right person.
Right.
But again, much better than customer coming, so I don't complain. Okay.
Yeah. Oh no. Hey, are you guys open 7 days a week, or do you have a different schedule?
We close Tuesday.
Okay.
And then also we open only in the evening.
I got you.
Yeah, we used to open at the lunchtime, and many stopped asking us when we are going to open again at lunchtime. But at this moment, not so sure for me, because maybe surround us, there are many kind of IT companies, and for those engineers, I think they can work at home, and even pandemic not finished, but is but those people stay at home,
Right.
So that, and lunchtime, I don't think we can get for those of, business person like before.
Right. Right. Oh yeah, because they're not at the office, and
No.
so many people are still working from home,
Mm-hmm.
and not getting out for lunch like they used to. So, and plus, the staffing for lunch is also an issue right now, and so it's difficult for restaurant owners like yourself to really meet all the demands of your customers in terms of hours and times because of the staffing challenges. And the food costs are not helping either. The food shortages and the cost of your food. Are you importing anything from Japan? Or are you getting most of your items, ingredients, and everything? Is it coming here from the States?
We import a lot from Japan, and of course we use for those specialized distributors or importers who bring in United States from Japan, and like glasses or those things. My wife, or whenever she goes back to Japan, she takes back from Japan to here. Like also some Japanese specialties. So those leaves, she always carries in.
Yeah.
And nowadays she faces also some difficulties, to bring for those.
Yeah. And I neglected to mention that your wife was involved in the business with you, and I should have done that. So it's always good to have help and a great partner when you start your business. Now, let me ask you this question, because you're an engineer, right?
Yeah.
And now you're, it used to be. And but that's what you had studied and done all your life. And now you're a restaurant owner. Is owning the business and running a restaurant, really a lot more different? Did you have to learn new skills or anything like that to be able to, get the restaurant to be successful?
Some people ask me why so.
Yeah.
Why, like exactly what you ask me. But I believe, because I don't cook myself, okay?
Right.
So that I manage. So managing style is no matter, industry different, nearly same, because we face same issues always, like shortage of staff or some quality problem, or of course, customer complain this and that, So how to resolve, and the delivery was delayed, or so how big or small or different industry. So fundamental issue is nearly the same. Of course, solution may be different.
Yes.
But the problem is always the same.
Yeah, that's a very good point, because there's a lot of people who love food, and they dream of opening a restaurant, but many people probably don't do it because they feel like, well, I'm in this business, or I was in that business. I don't really know the restaurant business. But what you say is really important, because business is fundamentally the same. You got a product, you got to create a product, you got to get it to market, you got to resolve problems along the way and fix things, whether it be technical or what. And you got the financial component of the business, which is still money coming in and money going out. And so, I think your point is that, if that's something you're passionate about doing, for our listening audience, even though maybe you didn't grow up in a restaurant, you can still, if you've got the business sense and knowledge, you can still make it happen and be successful. So congratulations to you for pulling it off and making a great business. Let me ask you about. I'm going to switch gears and ask a little bit about like the sales and things like that, and not specific numbers, but I'm just curious as to how you decide that you've had a good day in the restaurant. Are you looking at like number of customers that come in the door? Are you looking at sales, for the day or the week? Are you looking at profitability? How do you gauge success in the restaurant?
Okay. My success, if today's station will be success, then of course, customers' appearance. For instance, as I said, we open only in the evening,
right?
And even weekdays, we welcome around 100 to 150 customers. And all our tables are always fully occupied. And then, so these kind of situations, of course, in the end, maybe good figures, but I feel also like customers, let's compare like let's say 8 months ago and today. Mm-hmm. 8 months ago was kind of restrictions, so that we welcome only the patio, the outside, or right. Limited seats and so on, mm-hmm. Right? Mm-hmm. And even for us, for all employees, it's not so fun, to run the restaurant. I think one of the most important factors is the customer comes, of course, the restaurant, they enjoy our taste, drink, but more important, I believe, the capital customers look so happy, talking, laughing, this kind of atmosphere we need. And today, our restaurant, we really takes care for those good atmospheres, mm-hmm. Okay? So that, of course, so crowded, the customer start complaining, some delay of food delivery and so on. But I always sorry, one shortage of staff or, things, but I always try to customer happy.
See,
okay. Yeah. And if one table, they are so laughing, enjoying, then that spread to other tables. So in the end, entire our restaurants. So mm-hmm. This kind of atmosphere I want to keep.
Yeah, so you can
this kind of success of today.
Yeah, I can understand that, because you could walk into the dining room and you can listen and look, and if you see it's full and you hear the noise and the talking and the laughing and everybody looks happy, then most likely everything's going very well. And yeah. That's terrific. That's a great way to look at it. And of course, at the end of the day, you've got to find a way to make some profit, because business has to be profitable. So I'm sure you look at the sales numbers as well, and you have to make sure we spend less than we bring in, right?
Sure. Yeah.
And try to keep a few extra nickels and dimes whenever we can. But that's very interesting. Thanks for sharing that. How do you? I don't know if I mentioned this when we talked before, but I'm just curious on training. Is training a big part of, for your staff, your servers, your back of the house people? Are you doing that yourself, or do you have others who are helping to train new employees as they come through?
Okay, so our restaurant run by my family, so Japanese family, and mm-hmm. I use a lot of Japanese staff. Okay, so that I like to bring more Japanese service or Japanese way of hospitalities. Okay, for instance, if customers go to Japan, they feel Japanese way of hospitalities. and quite different from here, local American restaurant or so, or run by Americans. Okay, so this kind of hospitality is to us is so important, and especially my wife really cares. So that my wife, even every day, she teach all staff how to, how to deal to the customers, how to treat the customers, and these kind of things. So that creates something different from even other Japanese restaurants run by local people, Americans, and so on. So we try to keep original way of hospitalities to the customers. Okay. Yeah, I think that's the way. And it takes time.
Yes, sir. It does. And I like that because not only do you have a great product to serve that is different already, but you're also creating an experience for your customers, your guests, that is different from 99% of the other restaurants. So with great food, a great great atmosphere, great hospitality, great experience equals success, right?
Yeah. Yes.
Yeah. That's really neat because here in the U.S. there's so many different brands or so many different types of food, and you have to find a way to be different. If you're a hamburger restaurant, there's 500 other hamburger restaurants around, that people can choose from, but you guys are delivering something very unique. And I think that's, that was part of your dream when you came over. You wanted to bring the struggle to say Okonomiyaki. You wanted to bring that here, and I think it's a great thing for people in the U.S. to have an opportunity to try something different and to have a different experience in a restaurant. So, thank you for bringing this idea here to the States.
Yeah. So Jeff, let me add one thing that.
Yes, sir.
So Okonomiyaki is still difficult to pronounce, to remember. And before we moved to here, US, we tried to think we should create something unique or something, local person even understand well. So we developed so-called Osaka burger. Okay, so with this Okonomiyaki, we switched to a burger style. Okay, so that we call we named Osaka burger, so that it's kind of familiar to local people, right?
So the Osaka burger, burger, yeah.
And
awesome.
but the buns is the exact same as our Okonomiyaki. Okay, so we so many ingredients we sandwiched in between, and you can eat like a hamburger. Okay,
right.
And this also becoming popular, so we are so pleased. Okay, so with this style, I want to go to next place as a more fast casual style, because our current our restaurant is completely full service. Okay, but we really wish to switch to more fast casual style.
Full service, and that would enable you to not have to have as big a location, right?
Yeah.
And I guess move to more of instead of a table ordering, you'd have more of a counter where people would come in and place their order and move through.
Yeah.
That would be great. And in fact, you've got there's an example of that, with the Japanese restaurants that are here in the U.S. There's table service in many. And then I noticed in the bigger cities, years and years ago, they started opening more fast casual Japanese with that exact concept. In fact, some of them will have a small area up front with the glass, and they'll have a grill, and they'll make their rice right there where people can see it. So they're kind of sitting right there at the counter, basically making the rice. And then you move over here and you place your order. and pick it up, when it's ready from the counter and sit down and eat or takeout. And I think with the transition today from COVID, more and more people are not sitting in restaurants. They want that fast casual. They want to be able to go get it, and they want to be able to take it home if indeed that's who they are. So I think that's a great idea to shift in that direction.
Yeah, but Jeff, of course, it takes time,
Yes, sir.
Okay, because only ourselves to promote first the name, even the name, and difficult, and the customer who visit first time, I explained some of the customer challenged, right? And they really love it.
Yeah.
But this is not so easy job. Okay. Yeah. But anyway, I'm doing.
Well, no, you're exactly right. But see, that's a big problem for many independent restaurants. You're not McDonald's or Burger King or Wendy's. You don't have millions of dollars to put in TV and radio advertising. And the majority of our listeners are just like you. One of the biggest struggles they talk about is marketing the business, the concept, getting people to understand what their brand is all about. Because once people understand it, then and you find a way to connect, that brand to them, then the business can explode. And I heard a great story yesterday, about from a business that's in the burger business actually. And when they first started, they had an awning outside their restaurant, the big green awning, and on the front it had their name, but nothing else. And their business was just so. And one day they got the idea and they're in New York, okay, Manhattan. So they've got thousands of people walking by this awning every day. So somebody had a great idea to actually, they put, 10 or 12 words on that awning of what they served, and business went up 6 times in 2 weeks. I mean, it doubled and doubled, and has been going ever since. So to me, that was just really interesting because it was the same food, the same place. It's just nobody recognized that name and what it meant that they were going to get, because they did have something different. And when they put that right in front of people's eyes, they came. So, but doing that and finding a way to make that happen is really a big challenge for every kind of business. And it's expensive sometimes to get there, and we make mistakes along the way. You try this and it doesn't, yield a return of your investment in your marketing, and so you try something different, and that's just part of being an entrepreneur. You've got to find a way to mesh, and I appreciate you sharing that, because a lot of people struggle in that area, and hopefully you'll figure that one out too. You're still pretty young at 3 years old, and having dealt with COVID, so it'll happen. I believe it'll happen for you, and I hope we can help in any way to get the name out and the word out, and let more people know what it's all about, so that they can enjoy sharing a meal with you guys.
Yeah, thank you. Appreciate it.
Yeah, you're welcome. You're welcome. I guess we've been on for a little while now, so I think we'll get close to closing up. But before we do, I just want to ask you if you had any, and I don't think I asked you this beforehand either, but if you were going to give some words of advice to someone who's just thinking about opening a restaurant, or maybe somebody who's just opened, what kind of what advice, or what are the top one or two things that you would share with them that might be able to help them along the way?
Okay. I sometimes tell the story about KFC, Colonel Sanders. He started KFC at his age 65.
Just like
Okay.
you, just like
Yeah,
you.
exactly like
Yeah.
me. So, there's a good, to me, benchmark. He started.
Mhm.
Then, why not to me, right? And
Yes.
then, so uh, starting business, there is nothing to do with the age. And once you have a dream strongly, I think we should keep dreaming. It took me nearly 50 years, but now my dream comes true, right? So, and everybody has some dream, even to run a restaurant, to become owner of something, or become some the president. So, and everybody face, of course, in between some issues and problems, and people tend to forget.
Yeah.
Okay, but I think I'm telling you, keep dreaming. Then someday, it comes true. Okay, maybe some different way, but maybe if you keep dreaming, comes true. And always I'm telling, think positively, okay, so that for running business, many problem or negative things happening, but I usually try to think over positively. Okay, in this case, why not to challenge that way or this way or whatever, and then our life is only once, so that I should before I retired of my previous company, I was kind of a rich person, so I could enjoy the rest of my life, but only one, my life only once, so that I really wish and keep dreaming what I've dreamed, and yeah, so in between I face some lots of problem things, but now it's kind of success. Okay, so that even today I believe we should think everything positively. Okay, and there are many good words. Simple one: love, lucky, happy, thanks, and forgiveness. For these words, I always try to keep in mind, so that in the end, not only me, for everybody, comes the good success in everybody's life. Okay, and I really wish to continue my business until my last day. Okay, so that there's no age something, oh, I'm old enough or young enough or whatever. Okay, yeah. If you think, okay, then yeah, keep thinking or dreaming.
Yes, sir.
Okay, maybe
Well,
that's my word.
well, I think that's excellent advice, and I like the fact that you shared those particular words, and it's actually really inspirational to hear your story, all that you guys or all that you went through over 50 years to get yourself to where you are today. It takes commitment, and to be able to pull that off, and I'm so glad to have had a chance to talk with you and share your story with our audience. And I look forward to watching your business blossom and continue to be successful and to get bigger and bigger, so you can get the word out to more areas in the country with your food. So we look forward to it, and thank you so much for being with us here today. I appreciate it.
Yeah, thank you, Jeff, giving me this kind of opportunity to explain my kind of stories.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. Yeah, I live Italian, Jeff.
Oh, you're very welcome. We're thrilled, and just for the local listeners here again, if you've not been to Osaka's, they're at 2460 Canyon Boulevard, Suite number 1 in Boulder, Colorado. Website is osakasrestaurant.com. I've been looking at your menu while you were talking, and again, it's lunchtime here, so I wish I was in Boulder. That's all I can say.
Just wait until I come to your city, okay?
Yes. Well, maybe I'll get that out that way before the year is over. So I can only hope. But for all our listeners, again, this is Koji Tamura of Osaka's in Boulder, Colorado, and get out there and enjoy a meal with them one evening as soon as you can. And we hope you'll come back for our next episode of the Local Leaders Podcast. And again, I'm your host, Jeff Johnson. And thank you again, Koji, for being here. We look forward to talking to you on our next show. Thank you.